Well, hello there. How is everyone? Are we live? Are we live? I've got headphones on. I've actually got headphones on and they're not even connected to anything. Not even connected to anything. I just thought that I'd look the part, I thought. What's going on here? Let's close that. Let's get rid of that. So we get out of it. How is everyone? It's been a while. It's been a while, hasn't it? So long, in fact. I didn't even know to look at the camera. Get off that. How are we all? You know the drill. We don't really go round everybody and go hello, 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 and all that. But I will sort of have a look and see who's about. What mods have we got in? Let's see that first, because no doubt we're going to get some people in here who are going to give us some grief. Hey, check that out. Look, pumpkin. It's nearly Halloween. How do I... pumpkin. Look amazing. You all look amazing. And what time is it? Because it's late here. It's like, I don't know, 10:30, is it? Not 10:30. 11:15. Nearly 11:15. First time caught you on a live. First time caught you on a live. Excellent connection. Everything's going well. Everything's going well so far. So how is everyone? Anyway, yeah, what was I doing? I was looking at who the mods were, wasn't I? So the mods we've got in Superior Dreams. We've got Jen, otherwise known as Plants Are My Jam. We've got My May. We've got Aunt B. Hello, Aunt B. We've got Kenny. Hello, Ken. Did you get that hoodie, Ken? Did you sort that hoodie out in the end? Ken was our last hoodie winner, but we had some problems with customs and excise. Gotta love it. Reverberations from Brexit. But anyway, yeah, everything looks good. I've got excellent connection, which I should do, considering that I've fucking replaced everything except the bleeper, obviously, hence the ability to swear. I'm trying to add to broadcast. Hey everyone. Hey Harsh. Hi there, Chemistry Queen. I've got to remember how to do this live thing. Feels like it's my first time again. Feels like it's my first time. What's going on there? Did you see the short video by Justin a little while ago? A lot of people have reached out to me and said, did you see what Justin said about you? And the short answer is no. Other short answer is I don't give a shit what he said about me. Someone said that I owe him an apology. This is what I say about that. This person, Justin, reached out to me, and he first of all he said that Dylan Mortensen was trans. She'd been beaten up badly. She'd gone into hospital, was coming out of hospital, and would be having an exclusive interview with him. That never happened. Then he told me that James Fry had been harbouring a child who had gone missing years ago, and he was going to get found out for that. On top of that, he'd been involved in murdering a load of people, and was about to get arrested with some other people. That never happened. So, unless all of that, because I must admit, I've not been on air. Today, so maybe James Fry has been arrested and this has all happened. You know, I don't know. Maybe someone tell me, has it all happened? Has it all happened? As if it has, I do apologise, Justin. Anyway, because I doubt it has happened, has it? You need to apologise him. Don't forget she had kidney issues. Yet she did have kidney issues from the massive beating that she'd had, apparently. Justin is a great storyteller. He is a great storyteller. He is indeed. So we can give him that. But sadly, no, I haven't seen what he said about me. I shan't be watching anything he has to say, and I certainly won't be giving him an apology. In fact, he owes me an apology, as Adrienne says quite rightly, because he made me look a complete and utter prick. So thanks for that, Justin, you wombat. And I don't mean that derogatory to anyone from Australia, because I think that's where wombats come from. But yes, he is. I think he said Dylan had kidney disease. Jason has hoof and mouth and doesn't stay on his meds. I've been watching over the last few days, just for all our Australians in the house. Hello, Evil CJ, by the way. Hello there, my friend. Wolf Creek. Not the films, but the series. The series Wolf Creek, season 1 and season 2. And apparently he's doing a film and another season. But he is just another reason, on top of the spiders that will kill you, the snakes that will kill you, the crocodiles that will kill you. Also, Mick Taylor. He will also kill you. So, T-Rev loves you too. I don't. Again, I'm not in here for... This isn't a popularity competition. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, your camera is bouncing. Yeah, because I've changed everything, and I'm changing the camera again. So believe it or not, that is just the phone. What I'm filming on is the iPhone 15 Pro. But it's rigged to this stupid stick thing, and if I touch near it, it makes it move. So I'm trying not to touch near it. But hello, Dope Soul, our other mod. I'm late, better late than never. In fact, I'm early, I think. What is it? I'm early, I think. I don't know what the time is. You're about on time. So I think one of the most... we've got to touch on this. Before we talk about anything else, we have got to touch upon very sad news. And could this be any sadder? And that is the death of Matthew Perry. And so he is. I don't think, I looked at it a second ago to see what the updates, and it didn't say that they've released exactly what's happened to him. Some news people are saying that he drowned. He was obviously found in the hot tub, I believe. But tributes are pouring in from around the world for actor Matthew Perry after his death, aged 54. And he died in an apparent drowning in his hot tub. A 911 call captured a small portion of the police response. Perry's family released a statement to people saying Matthew brought so much joy to the world, both as an actor and a friend. But yeah, so Matthew Perry, very, very sad news. And yeah, will be greatly, greatly missed. I used to love Friends. Any other Friends? Number 1, if you loved Friends. Number 2, if you hated Friends. Because I know it was a bit like Marmite. But number 1, if you was a Friends fan, fellow Friends fan. Love your pumpkin, looks great in the background. Yeah, we went and got some pumpkins the other day. I've never seen some. They're massive, massive pumpkins. I'll show you. Not now because I don't know where they are. But yeah, I'll show you. Oh my god, I hadn't heard. I just woke up to someone hadn't heard. Yeah, Matthew Perry's dead. And we got a lot of ones. 1.5, Evil CJ. I'm guessing that means that he loves it, but is that a 1.5 because you really loved it? Or 1.5 because you love it, but you might not see you're heading towards a 2? And there's always the ones who pick like a 0. Is Justin JLR? Yeah, something like that. He's something. Right, let's have a look at this. We've got a lot of ones. So who's new? How long has it been? It has been a really long time, hasn't it? It's been like a really long time since the last live. I don't like doing really long lives. So the idea is we generally have a live for about an hour. And I do have a surprise because I'm going to be picking one person at random. And this is kind of on the hop because I don't really know how I'm going to do this. But it's going to be at random. And I'm going to... and that is a super sticker there from... Is that Sharla Kehoe? For your good causes and to make you say hello to me. I thought you said help. Hello, Sharla, and thank you very much for the super chat. Like everybody knows who comes around here, I don't chase after super chats. We're not going to be doing hey, we're going to do a super sticker train and all that bollocks. You do not have to donate anything. This isn't about you lot giving me stuff. This is about me giving you stuff. Even though, I don't know how that works. But no, I don't ask for stuff. I don't want you to think about having to donate anything. And I saw earlier Leslie as well, Leslie M. You done a super sticker. Thank you very much for that. But again, don't think we don't do all that here. I find it annoying. This should be fun. Random pick time. Yeah, random pick. I think the last time when we did it, didn't I shut my eyes and just scroll through like some sort of weirdo and just hit the button? That's probably what I'll do this time. I could use a random comment picker, but I don't think I can do that. Dope Soul. Joey was my favourite though. How you doing? Didn't I used to do videos like that, Dope Soul, saying at the beginning, how you doing? So check this out. So remember, some of you who have been around the channel for a while will remember this, but in this bag, this special bag, I have what one lucky person is going to win. Now, if you're male and you win, if you're single and not looking for a female, then they might be a little bit, you might want to sell them. But if you're female, a bit of an acquired taste still. But these, remember these, remember them. They are earrings from Off-White. And that's what we're going to be giving away randomly to someone who comments during the live. Adrienne, Matthew Perry, last Insta post. I didn't actually see it. Is it? Let me have a look. Let me see if I can find it on here. See if it's Matthew Perry last Insta post. I'll tell you what, I'm typing over there as well. I literally bought a keyboard to put in front of me so I didn't have to use that one, and I use that one anyway. So that was an absolute rubbish, wasn't it? Shared fire from hot tub. So he was from the hot tub. So what we got here? So they're saying, let's just accept all. Might as well accept all, mightn't we? Make sure that everyone gets all the information. What's that doing? Get off. Right, so get rid of that. Why does it keep coming up on the screen? Get off. Matthew Perry shared final Instagram post from Hot Tub 5 days before his death. Okay, so warm water swelling around makes you feel good. Spooky. Matthew Perry last posted on Instagram 5 days ago before his sudden death at the age of 54. Shared a nighttime photo of himself inside a hot tub on Monday the 23rd October, writing in the caption, "Oh, so warm water swelling around makes you feel good. I'm Matman." Matman is a name he'd used in recent days while posting on social media, often including references and imagery related to Batman. Very sad. So there you go. That was his last Insta post. So, what do we got? I like your flash and Jack. Thank you. I did see all of the all of the people who have become members as well. Thank you very much. And we've got some people. Pat from Lancs Lass. She's been a member for 6 months. Mikey, he's joined. He's new. Alison's new. What else have we got? 19 months, Dope. 19 months. That's about as old as the channel. And we've got Louis, who has also done a super chat. Thank you very much. But again, don't feel that you have to do that. Michelle too. Thank you very much. Casey, 10 months. Evil CJ show. Look at that. A creator showing another creator some respect. I'll have to come over and return the favour, Mr. CJ. I think I'm only... Who am I member to? I think I am... Please slow this chat some. Let me see if I can do that. Hold on a second. Let me just go back. If I go into... How do I do that? Can we... No, I can't edit the title, can I? Let me have a look and see. Bear with me. Let me have a look. Let's go and see if I can slow the chat down. Click on it. No, don't let me. It won't let me. Won't let me slow it. We'll just have to, I don't know. I didn't think that many people would be in it. There's not that many people, is there? How we got? I don't even know how many we got. I genuinely don't know. But anyway, oh yeah, I'm rusty. I'm rusty. What we got? What's your favourite Halloween movie? My favourite Halloween movie, probably Nightmare on Elm Street. Obviously, you got all the new ones that have come out, and the latest horrors like Insidious and all them. I like them, but to be fair, there's nothing better than the oldies, like Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist film. Really good, really good. Chat is fast, isn't it? Let me just see if I can do it on here. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to come over to this screen, see if I can go on to Studio, Channel Dashboard. I might be able to do the chat, change it over here, live. See if we can... I think I can do it on this one. Bear with me 1 second. I think we can sort the chat out here. Customization? That's not customization button, is it? Oh, yes, it is. Live commentary, slow mode. We'll put slow mode on for a bit. We're going to put a 30-second slow mode in, just to slow that down a bit. So slow mode. We've just put in a slow mode, 30 seconds, just to slow it down a bit. And if it's a little bit too slow, then we'll go back to it later and we'll take that off. But anyway, look, that should bring things down. 18 months, I know, 18 months, dope. That's a long time. In the UK, you get out quicker than that for murder. Anyway, I wanted to... we're obviously going to talk about the Idaho 4 case because we've had a lot going on in this case. We obviously had Brian Kohberger in court. And they've obviously said that they're not going to... they're not going to allow him to, dismiss the dismissal of the grand jury. That's not going to happen. Which, you know what? That wasn't really the most important one, I don't think. I think the main important one will be the closed hearing and what is going to be ruled from that. I don't know whether you could technically say that the fact that he's not allowing the dismissal of the grand jury is kind of an indication of where he's going to go with the, the accusations of, misconduct, prosecutorial misconduct and what have you, but he's going to have to address that. So it will be interesting to see what Judge says when he comes back about that. But what are your guys' feelings? What do you think is going to what do you think's going to happen? Is it an indication of what he's going to do based on the fact that he's not allowed a dismissal of the grand jury? He's obviously turned around and saying that the way in which the grand jury operates is the way that it's always operated. I think that's a bit of a weak argument. But there we go. Let's see what some of your thoughts are. Great seeing your house. I know it's been so long since we've done the lives. I am going to be doing more lives, do not worry. It's just what with the dog, which isn't in here at the moment, because the dog is going for a phase where if I'm on here and I'm not paying attention to her, she destroys everything. And when I say she destroys everything, I mean she destroys everything. She is a wrecking ball. But we're going through some training and some puppy courses, and she'll be back in it when she decides not to ruin everything that I'm doing. Thanks for all the meat and potatoes. Thank you very much, Golf Inspector General. That is very kind of you for the meat and potatoes. So I'll see if I can move that down there a bit. And I want to get your thoughts and feelings. It's quite rare that I get to speak to you from a live perspective and get some of your thoughts and feelings. So let's have a look. It leaves the door open. I'm going to try. Can I widen that? I don't know whether I can or not. The chat thing. Can we bring that over here so I can see it a bit better? That's a bit better. Yeah, that's better. I'll put that there. And the judge should have dismissed it. I believe it should have gone back to a preliminary hearing. I do, because I'm not saying Brian Kohberger is innocent, and those of you who have been around the channel for a while, you'll remember that my thoughts and feelings have always been that Brian Kohberger has been involved in this. What I struggle with is whether Brian Kohberger did it on his own. And I'm going to touch on a couple of things that don't sit right with me in a second. Just want to say again, Louis, leave no stone unturned. Thank you very much, and you're exactly right. Love the live Dago crew here watching. Thank you very much, Rock, Chalk, and thank you very much for a super chat. That's a super chat, isn't it? The link is in there for the membership. Yeah, thank you very much, Jennifer. But again, don't feel obliged. To be fair, and what the members will likely tell you is, I have neglected the members for some time, but that is going to be changing. But I have neglected them. There's been a lot going on. I've changed everything. For those of you who've been around the channel for a while, I had the setup, and then I had an electrical fire that destroyed everything. I then done a temporary rebuild of the setup, but I weren't happy with it. So I've been back out and spoken to FlexiSpot. For those of you, again, who have been around for a while, you'll remember the FlexiSpot table and chair. And I've got another table from them, changed everything, and I will be showing you that. I will be showing you the new sort of setup, what I've got, in a few days' time. So you can have a look at what actually is behind the scenes for those of you who are interested. And but the idea is going to be this, is that we're going to do lives every week. The idea is going to be to do a live, I think I'm going to do a live every Wednesday. If not, that'll be every Sunday. And then I'm going to do the mental health live, for those of you who are interested in that, every other Sunday. So there'll be 2 of them a month now. So, for those of you, I know that not for everybody, I know some people's thoughts and feelings around mental health ain't everyone's cup of tea. And I'd just say, look, if that's not your bag, don't worry. Just be here for what is your bag. But some people, and I've had some stories of people who have had their lives really changed by that. And that's why we will continue. But, so they are coming back. And the first one will be next week. So the first of the mental health lives will be, will it be this Sunday? It will be this Sunday coming. Is it Sunday now? Yeah, so it will be in a week's time. So there'll be a live on Wednesday, which will be the normal live, and then a live on Sunday. I'll get there in a minute. I'll get there. So what have we got? Recently had a fire myself, yeah. That's my fault. And to be fair, CJ, if you'd have seen the wiring under the desk, what I had before, it's absolutely crazy. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it lasted. This is a bit different. But there we go. Oh my God, I caught alive. Hot damn, you handsome fucking gem, you. Thank you very much. And again, thank you for the super chat. Calm the old super chats down. Calm them down. You don't need to do it. But no way in hell to do this on his own. And this is what I struggle with. Whoa, where did that go? I wanted that on the screen. Faith. No way in hell. So we make that a bit bigger so people can actually read it. No way did he do this on his own. I think he has knowledge of the crime, but I believe the frat arseholes are the guilty ones. Justice for Ethan. And what I will say is, look, we all have different thoughts and feelings on this case. I respect everybody's opinion. And I don't believe that what I believe is 100% right. I believe that how I interpret the stuff and what I see and the way I feel about it is that there is not enough information available to anybody in the public to be able to condemn a man to death for this murder. That's all it is. You know, if I'd seen enough and felt, you know what, he's definitely done this, there's enough evidence. Because let's just put it this way, something like the fact that there's DNA on this sheath, for instance. Yeah, I get it. There's thank you very much, Willow. Another super chat there. I think about this, and I look, and I can't help but think back to what happened to the guy who was convicted in the Jill Dando case. Now, he looked like a nutcase. The guy looked like a nutcase stalker, and he eventually ended up getting found guilty and sent away, and did, I think it was 8 or 9 years. And what got him was that when they checked his hands and everything, he had no gunshot residue on him. So it didn't look like he'd fired a gun. But then they found a coat, and they found gunshot residue in the pocket of the coat. And that's what convicted him. But it weren't until this guy, and I've done a video on this not so long ago, and it was the guy who goes and does all the he goes around all the most dangerous prisons all over the world. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Raphael Rowe. And he went to a guy in America, and the guy basically said that this is no good. This evidence is no good. You could basically, the person who shot that gun could have gone into a shop, brought something with some money, and put the money in the till. He could have then gone into the shop. This Barry, who done time, could have gone and got the money and then put it in his pocket, and that's where you've got transfer. And I look at it like this. Yes, we've got Brian Koberger's. Apparently, we've got Brian Koberger's DNA on this sheath. And maybe they'll show all the legwork, they'll show everything, and it'll be proven to be his. Beyond a reasonable doubt, it's definitely his. But even if they prove beyond a reasonable doubt that it's his, how are they going to prove beyond a reasonable doubt how it got there when common sense tells you that it got on there before he entered the house? So what's to say that he hadn't handled it at some point, but not in this house, so just through someone else? Maybe he was interested in knives and had gone to a shop and was looking at them. Maybe someone else had touched it and touched him, who shook his hands. We don't know, and we'll never know. Unless they've got other proof of other stuff around this, and they can concretely prove that car is Brian Koberger's white Hyundai Elantra, and they've got him on camera, and it's by the house, and that can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. It's a hard one. But the biggest thing that I struggle with is, how did he do it on his own? How did he do this on his own? And I was looking at something, and I'll show you this. Let me go back to, it is here. Inside look. Is it this? No, it was here. So let's bring this up on the screen, and we'll just look back. Some of you will have seen this, and some of you won't, but we're going back to look at a Howard Bloom article, and he had spoken about it in here, and he'd basically said, can we read it? Oh, it won't let me read it on here. But, so that was a waste of time. I can look at it on my phone, but I can't look at it on here. Oh, I know, because I've got a VPN and that on here, not on the computer hooked up. Never mind. Anyway, I'll tell you what he said. So he's basically talking about the crime itself. And he's saying, you've got to think about how this happened. And he goes back and he talks about how the people had described what they saw when they went into this house. How horrific it was inside this house. Truly horrendous. So bad. And you think to yourself, this person has got to plan this crime. They've got to plan it. So you've got to think to yourself, right, so they've got to think they're going to go into this place and they're going to do this crime. They've got to contemplate who is in here and how they're going to do it. And they choose, the weapon of choice is this knife. So they're going to go into this home and they're going to do this crime with this knife. And they're going to do it. And unless you think they're going to go in there and they want to get caught, they've got to factor in, how are they going to do this on their own when they don't know how many people's in there? Their choice of weapon is just and this isn't a machete. This ain't like a massive sword, like a samurai sword. This is a 7-inch fighting military knife. And you think to yourself, you've got to have some bollocks for that. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have some absolute stone cold Steve Austin bollocks to walk into that house in the middle of the night, not knowing who's in there, on a football night of all things. Let's not forget, this is football night. And this state, this school, this University of Idaho was renowned as being party central. I think they used to call like the wet frats because they were always drinking, they're always fucking Larry, and you know, so he's literally gone in here with balls of steel, thinking I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it on my own. And not only that, but I am not going to leave any evidence that I was even there. Does Brian Koberger, when you look at him, does he look like the person who has got absolute balls of steel, would walk in here on a football night, possibly walk into a house that's got 20 people in it, armed with that, and just walk in and think, I want to go in there and do everything and not get caught and not leave any evidence? But lo and behold, he does that, but drives his own car there, drives it around past all of the cameras and just like just wide open while there's police talking to people outside. The stones throw away from the house, but he's still thinking, I don't care. I'm Larry. It just doesn't work. Doesn't work. And even though I kind of find myself laughing to myself, it's not out of disrespect. It's because to think of Brian Koberger doing it on his own with absolutely no help, no support whatsoever. I just can't make that work in my brain. When I look at him, I can't fathom it. I can't. And don't get me wrong, like some people will turn around and they'll say, oh yeah, but Ted Bundy walked into the sorority house and bludgeoned them. But at the point with which Ted Bundy done this crime, he had killed multiple people. And Ted Bundy at that stage, he genuinely didn't give a monkeys. And he just walked in there and started whacking people like fucking whack-a-mole. And but this is something completely different. What you've got to remember is, if it wasn't for the knife sheath, there'd have been no evidence, nothing whatsoever. And even the knife sheath isn't absolute proof, because I think about it like this from the knife perspective. Imagine he's done this crime, right? He's done this crime, and he's got the weapon in his hand, and it's done. What does he do at the end of that? When it's all done and the deal is done, what does he do there with this? Does he put it in his pocket? No, he's not going to put it in his pocket, is he? He's not going to put it in his pocket. So does he go to put it in his sheath? But he hasn't got the sheath because the sheath's upstairs. So he doesn't put it in the sheath. So what does he do? Does he just keep it in his hand? But surely he's got to change out of his clothes, because we've led to believe that he didn't carry any blood or anything round the house or out of the house. So he's got out of his clothes in the house. So what's he doing with the knife? Does he put it down and then put everything, then throw it in the bag? But then he must have, before he left the house, realised that he hasn't got the sheath. So why doesn't he go and look for it? If he thinks he's dispatched everybody in the house, why doesn't he go back up and find the knife sheath? Just, there's all these little things that are just... To make him make sense, I need those questions answered. And then I'll feel better. And I know that some people say, you don't need them. He's just made a mistake. He just fucked up and you're reading too much into it. And maybe I am. But that's me. That's my prerogative to look at something and think, not every question that I have has been answered. And because of that, I'm not willing to condemn somebody to death. Because the information that I do have about the crime, it just ain't enough. It just ain't enough for me to just say, throw the towel in and say, it's him, man. Must be him. And that's it. Let's go into the comments and speak to some people. We've been live for 35 minutes, 35. So let's have a look. I'm just going to pick some random comments. Jan Levine. What do we got here? Blood was everywhere. Knife sheath was dropped and didn't get any blood or anything on it, but microscopic DNA. I know, and again, do you know what I mean? It's possible. It's possible it happened, but there's just some things that just don't sit right with me. Just don't sit right with me. What do we got here? Mike O'Donnell. I'm not even going to tag that up. What do we got? Let's have a look. Evil CJ. It was another frat member, not a stranger. Evil CJ. Put a number 1 in the chat, by the way, if you believe that that it was something to do with the fraternity, that there was something else going on. And put number 2 if you do not want to entertain that whatsoever. So number 1, you believe there's a possibility that the fraternity was involved. Number 2, if you just don't want to entertain that at all. I'm going to have a look in the comments. How likely is a guy from PA get his DNA on sheath on a weapon covering why drive in the area? That's a dead-end road. Yeah. There's a lot of people who look at the fraternity. A lot of people. Vast majority of people. And we've got a few twos in there. A few twos. But the vast majority are a 1. And yeah, what I think the fact is with the fraternity, I think a lot of people believe that there's a fraternity or even sorority situation because they struggle to place Brian Koberger doing this on his own. Like, I even sort of entertained the thought that, look, we know that the grub truck was being streamed. Now, could somebody have utilised the feed from the grub truck in order to sort of plan this attack? No, and time it. That was that part of it. Because obviously, I don't know whether law enforcement have the facility to see who was logged on to the feed of the grub truck during the time that was transmitting around this time. That would be interesting to find out who was actually logged on to that feed. Could they see whether if Brian Koberger was actually logged on and watching that grub truck feed? Because that would be obviously another. Because people talk about other evidence, don't they? They talk about other evidence, and I always think to myself, what do they mean by there's more? They've got more. And I think the only thing that can be more is that they've got another video of somewhere where it clearly shows Brian Koberger in his car driving about. But we know he's already driving about. So if they've got a picture of him driving his car about on another camera away from 1122 King Road, then it's not going to prove that he was at 1122 King Road. They need a video of him or a picture of his car with the number plate outside 1122 King Road around the time of this crime. That's it. They need that to make the car situation concrete. They need that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what they need to do. It don't matter whether they find one without the front number plate. That's not going to be enough. They need to make sure that is 100% his car beyond a reasonable doubt. That's it. Because there are so many of these white Hyundai Elantras and silver Hyundai Elantras. They have to make sure that's 100% his. The phone ping situation, we still don't have the phone data back either, but the phone data has got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was in the area committing the crime. And if it just says that he wasn't transmitting a signal around this time, that, again, doesn't prove anything beyond a reasonable doubt. Does anyone remember when Steve Gonsalves said Kaylee was always researching trafficking? That's not something that I've heard. If anybody else has heard that, you can comment in the chat to see whether... Because Steve Gonsalves has said a lot of things. Like I say, I've got a lot of time for Steve Gonsalves. I do. Someone was seen leaving the crime scene, possibly approaching the huge SUV in Linda Lane footage. The Linda Lane footage has got so much stuff in there. The Mad Maven. Thank you very much, Mad Maven. Thank you. Woot. It's hard to figure the whole frat Yeah, you see, that if I had to think about the frat situation, how would that look? The thing what I do struggle with the frat angle, because I think, what would that be? Would that then be because of the fight that sort of broke out between Ethan and can't remember his name off the top of my head. Obviously, Ethan had got into that fight, and Xana had apparently broken that fight up and had it escalated from that. And I think, well, that must have been one hell of an escalation if he ended up going into the house after Ethan, and that ended up being what it was. It's difficult, and it's hard as well when you look at all the 4chan stuff and it talks about the people. You just don't know what to believe. There's so much stuff on there. The 4chan stuff that come out earlier in those chats, it's hard. It's hard to sort of separate the wheat from the chaff, because there is so much. That's it, David Loach. You know, if it was to do with David Loach, how then would that have escalated into Kaylee and Maddie? It's a hard one. It's you know, for me, I struggle with what Steve Gonsalves said about Kaylee, because I think, why would it be on this specific night? Why was it on this night? Because to me, that was the biggest risk, with the football being on, and if you was completely unfamiliar with what was going on in this house, and you really was an outsider, you could have walked into this house and there could have been 50 people in there. That's the bit that really I find difficult. Next poll. Do you believe the crimes took place at the time laid out in the PCA? I'm going to tell you right now, if you believe that the murders happened between 4 and 4:30, put a number 1. If you believe that it happened at some other time, put a 2. So number 1, if you think it happened between 4 and 4:30, put number 2 if it was some other time. And I'm putting my number in here. That's my number. So number 1, between 4 and 4:30. Number 2, if it was another time. We've got some ones. It's hard, isn't it? There's a lot of 2s. I think the 2s are just nudging ahead. Aren't we? Just nudging ahead. Because what I'll say this. Because remember, Kathy Mabbutt, right at the beginning, she didn't put the time of when this crime happened between 4 and 4:30. She put it earlier. She put the crime earlier. And this is the bit that gets me when you put these pieces of information together. Kathy Mabbutt making out like this happened earlier on. You've got the defence and Taylor. She's stating that Brian Coburg was driving around, and she turned around and said my client was not around here at the time of the murders. She didn't say he weren't there. She said he weren't there at the time of the murders. So I wonder whether they have some information that could point towards something, perhaps through what Bethany Funk has said, that something happened earlier, or they believe something happened earlier. That's what I think. I just have this really strange feeling. We've been conditioned to think that this crime happened at a certain time. Now, could it have been that we've been conditioned to think it was this certain time because that is the time when Brian Coburg was in this area, but that isn't when the crime happened? You know, again, I said it earlier, we're conditioned to think the murderer was driving a white Hyundai Elantra. But we're led to believe that because they're trying to push the fact that Brian Coburger did the crime. But we don't know that the killer drove a white Hyundai Elantra. We don't know that. We've just been conditioned to think that. Someone could have walked into that house and done this and walked out. They might not have even had a car. Why would somebody want to go into this house, and they're clearly thinking stealth. They're thinking stealth. They're thinking quiet, and that's why they don't go in there with a gun like most people who want to commit a mass murder. We've literally just seen it over the last few days, but they have gone in here with a silent weapon. Gone in here with a silent weapon. So they've got silence in mind, they've got stealth in mind, but they've also got the ability to hunt, they've got the ability to do this crime. But they drive their own car. If it's Brian Kohberger, he does all this, he takes into consideration what weapon, the fact that he's going to do it in the depths of night, wearing black mask, but drives his white fucking car down the road, drives it around and round in circles in front of cameras. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Getting excited because it's just ludicrous. That to me, it's insanity. It's absolutely insanity. Hire a car, rent a car. The bloke Brian Kohberg was a runner. He was fit, like a very good runner. Why wouldn't he have parked 2 miles down the road and ran in his black clothing through the woods up the back, army crawled? You know what I mean? I'm just not buying it. I just can't buy it. I'm not saying it's impossible for him to have done it. I'll be shocked, and I've not seen enough. And for me, there's a hell of a lot of questions. Anyway, let's go back into chat. What do we got? We had it on slow mode, didn't we? We got it on 30 seconds. Is it slow enough? I don't like slowing it down. But sometimes we have to, don't we? We do have to. If you haven't hit like, make sure you hit like. So I think we got 846 likes, which is fantastic. We got 4 dislikes. Oh, we can't please everyone. I'm surprised we only got 4. That wasn't an invitation to hit thumbs down, by the way. I'm just surprised we only got 4. That means that I've got a lot coming in the replay. But thank you very much. What do we got? Headbetter Slots. Do you think we'll ever hear the 911 call? You just reminded me, Headers Better. I'm going to tell you something, because some of you will know this, and some of you won't know this. I'm just trying to think where that was. I'm going to tell you something. Now I've got 6 dislikes, you motherfuckers. Right. So, a lot of people with the 911 call were thinking about why they said about a unconscious person. And I was reading something, and it was talking specifically about the way in which the 911 call operates in this area. And apparently, it goes through a system. It goes through a system that is massively, massively understaffed. In fact, it's so understaffed that the staff are like working 20-hour shifts. Real bad. I apologise. I didn't get it. I'm going to do a video and I'm going to touch on it. And it's on my phone, and my phone is being camera for the night, so I can't show you. But I'll do a video and I'll explain this more. But basically, what happened was, in order to speed the process up, they set up some specific, like, generic statements, and one of those was that they would explain that someone was unconscious. So that had potentially no relevance to even what was going on at 1122 King Road. It was just the fact that this could have been just a generic response to the call, just to hurry it along. We've got someone who's unconscious, right? Yeah, that's it. We'll get him over, and that's it. And that's the way that works. So it wasn't that someone had said potentially that someone was, in fact, unconscious. It's that this place that runs this call, and what I found interesting was, because of how they felt that people's lives were being put at risk because they couldn't get to the calls. So I wonder whether we haven't heard the 911 call, because I wonder whether they'd already rung. I wonder whether there had been another call earlier on in the evening. And when they called the second time, they referenced the fact that they'd already called. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. There's no reason in my eyes that they would hide from the public the 911 call unless there was something in that 911 call they don't want the public to hear. And I wonder whether it's because in that call they reference an earlier call being made that was ignored. Who knows? That is me spitballing, and I could be talking completely out of my arse. But I don't know. There's just something about that call. They're hiding it. And when I read that today about how this place that deals with the 911 calls are really struggling, they're scared they're going to, people are going to lose their lives because they can't get to the calls. And it's got to the point where they've got to hurry the calls on just by just randomly saying, oh, unconscious person. Do you know what I mean? It's the Whitcomb policy. You're talking about Whitcomb policy outsourced. It's the way any place they handle it. Yeah, that's it, the Whitcomb policy. So I don't know whether everybody has heard of that. That might be something that you guys in the US are very familiar with. But yeah, that's what I was reading about. And yeah, it's just seems a bit fishy to me. Watching for a few months now, first time in the live. Yeah, I used to do lives, then I stopped, but now we're going to start doing them again. And I do thank you all for being here on my first forage back into it. Was that the right word? Forage? From foraging. Foraging around on the live screen. What do we got? Hope and happiness. Thank you very much for the hype super sticker. If I've missed anyone, I do apologise. Angel, a new member, thank you for joining. We've got Headers Better Slots, has been a member for 3 months. We've got Tiger Dog, who's a new member as well. Thank you very much. What have we got? Got 1,081 likes, and we've gone up to 12 dislikes. I don't know. It must be, what's his name, who's come in here now. Thought you were going to dress up for Halloween. It's not Halloween yet, my mate. I have got something for Halloween. I do have something. Check this out. I do have something for Halloween. How cool is this? And it lights up. It lights up. Shall we turn this off, look? That lights up. That is part of my Halloween outfit. Something's buzzing in my ear. Something's buzzing in my ear. I think it's that. Flashes and everything. Anyway, that's my Halloween outfit. How cool is that? So yeah, I will be. Yeah, Glera, that's it. The Glera, he's back. How cool is that, again? How cool is that? We went last night, for those of you who are in the UK, we went to this thing called Primeval last night. It's where they do like these scare rooms. And someone was wearing that mask in the queue, and I thought, I'm getting one. So I ordered it from the queue, and it arrived today. Funny when you buy shit, Amazon are bang on it, but then when you order something really important, never turns up. Vanishes. 16 dislikes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right, what do we got? We've got, how many minutes have we got left? There's a lot to say. I only want to do an hour. So let's do some questions. Get some questions. Get a queue, and then write your question. So queue so I know it's a question. I won't be able to do them all. I do apologise. I'll pick some at random, and then we'll do some questions, and then I'll do the random person grab for the giveaway. And what I'm going to do, for those of you who watch on the replay and don't watch on the live, I will also do a giveaway to one random person who comments in the replay. All you guys have got to do on the replay is put in your comment #replaycrew, and I will do a giveaway. I don't know what I'm going to give you, but I'll find something. Might be a teddy or something from the merch shop. Please don't buy shit, Harsh. It's messy. It is. So, right, questions. I asked people to do questions, didn't I? And then I just went rambling on. What the fuck, it's not even 1 hour. It has. It's actually been... That's how quick the lives go, I'm telling you. It's 54 minutes and 37. How mental's that? Goes quick. Goes quick. Right, so question, do you believe Dylan Mortensen? In a nutshell, no, I don't. Now, do I believe that she's involved in anything at this stage? No, I don't. I don't believe that she was involved in what happened, but I believe that she's being disingenuous with perhaps how much she cares. I'm trying to be careful of how I word it. I think she knew what had happened a long time before it was reported, and that's just my opinion. I think she knew what had happened to those four long before she reported it. That's just my opinion. I'd love to understand why the two closest to the entrances were left unharmed. Something that's puzzled me. If someone was going in there just to do this to everyone, again, I'm doing a video tomorrow. I am doing, which is, I don't want to give it away, but it sort of touches on what you're talking about. But yeah, why some people were it looked like they were swerved. I am going to be touching on that tomorrow in just a dedicated video. Do you think the university knows more than they let on? April, May. Do I think the university knows more than they let on? I'm not 100% sure. Do I think that the university cares? No. I think all the university cares about is putting this behind them, sorting out their deal with the acquisition of Phoenix. It's worth 180 odd million to them over the next few years. That's a massive amount of money, and this is a business. They are a business at the end of the day, and this is bad for business. Star Witness, do you think it was Xana at the grub truck? No, 100%. I do not think it was Xana at all, and I would say 100% it's not Xana. Courtney G. I can't stick around. I'll watch it later for sure, but had to pop in because I was so excited to see you were live again. Welcome back to Lives, good sir. Thank you very, very much, Courtney G, and thank you very much for the $10 super chat. How do you feel about the University of Idaho owning the crime scene? I think that's quite worrying, and I know Cara Norvington, Xana's mum, is also not happy about that as well. We're going to be talking about again tomorrow on some of the stuff that Cara said. I was going to do it tonight, but I'm just conscious that the live is going to run on and on. But Cara, yeah, she's not happy. She don't want the house knocked down. She don't want them to have anything to do with it. She's even turned around and said, look, the jury might want to go and do a walk round. I think it's important that they've got the ability to go and have a walk round. I think it's quite clever what they did about the asbestos issue. So they might have had issues knocking it down. They've turned around and said that they've found asbestos there that's going to render that place, even if it's not knocked down, they'll be able to turn around and say, oh, you can't go and look around it, public safety, there's asbestos there. So it's all these little things. Question, Dean A. Harsh, look at the 3 to 4 Linda Lane footage missing time. I am still looking at some of the Linda Lane footage, and I will be talking on that at some point. I just like to rarely do it to death. Charlie Day, do you think he stands a chance? Realistically, I do think he stands a chance. I think potentially we've already had a clue that he does stand a chance. And I'll tell you why. Because we've heard through Jay Lodgton, that the grand jury, 6 members, had already said that they needed more information. And if that's true, which we've got no reason to believe that it's not true, then that is an indication that a jury later on down the line is not going to have everything. unless, again, the prosecution pulls out all this stuff that we think is missing. You know, it's all right for them to say it, and us to hear about this, the 6 grand jury members, but the people who have got their head stuck in the sand, they don't want to hear it. You know, that's Jay lodged and lying. It's amazing how people can disregard what things are said because it goes against their narrative, but the be-all and end-all is there isn't enough information. What we've got access to ain't enough, and they do need a lot more. They need it. And that could be an indication that they shouldn't move it. They need to keep it right where it is, and this... If it stays as it is and they don't have anything more, this could go in his file. If this is it, I'll say now, if this is it and they're banking every single thing on that knife sheath, they're going to lose. And what I will also say is, to me, this almost looks like they are teeing this up perfectly for him to appeal later on down the line and get off on a technicality via the appeal because of how he's being treated. And I wonder whether that was the point all along. But that's me, you know. Q. And this is Karen Best. Do you think BK walked past Dylan M? No, I don't think he walked past Dylan M because technically that wouldn't have been possible. She would have had to have been in front of him and he's kind of walked across her gaze. So he hasn't walked past her per se, which then raises the question about the footprint right outside her door. Now, could it have been brought down, and the fact that it was latent, we know someone attempted to clean it, and that's why, one of the main reasons why I feel Dylan Mortensen knew what had happened long before. I think she knew what had happened, she freaked out, didn't call 911. It got to the point, we heard, and whatever there's any truth to it, that the front door of that property was left open. I believe that there is a high probability that that front door was left open. They were hoping someone else was going to come in, find what had gone on, raise the alarm. And because the time just kept ticking, that didn't happen. And it got to the point where Bethany called people to come over because she didn't want to be the person there solely on her own, potentially with Bethany. And, you know, Bethany and Dylan are just... They got other people to come over and take the heat with them. That's what I think. And again, I could be completely wrong. But when you hear these little things about the door, you know, it's... Brian Hoffman, I'm so glad Harsh mentioned Get a Clue. Get a Clue is very, very good, I will say. Here he is. I'm trying to find you on this one, Brian, because I can pin that. But, whoa, what happened there? Get a Clue is very, very good. He does a lot of good work. The one thing what lets Clue down, or Streak as they call him, is that he lets people get to him. Like people... don't like me. I don't care if they like me or not. I'm not here for people to like me. I'm here to speak to you guys. And because he lets people get on top of him, it's very hard for him to just let it be water off a duck's back. And because of his reaction to people, that sometimes takes away from how good his content is, because people are too busy focused on his negative reaction. Like, I know that people they'd wrongfully criticised his daughter. He'd had his daughter and his daughter was singing, and do you know what I mean? And people had criticised. That was wrong for people to criticise that. Whether you don't like it or not, there was no need to criticise his daughter, his young daughter singing. Can you remember, for those of you who have been around here for a while, when my daughter Sienna, she sung in a video a while back? And could you imagine? It would have been, you know, it would have upset me if you lot said that luckily she sings like a fucking hero. But if she was tone deaf and was singing and people were like, oh, fucking hell, get rid of that, whatever's that. Do you know what I mean? That would be a little bit upsetting. And I'd hate to think as well, her hear it and, you know, see the comments like, fucking hell, they hate me. Like, and you can kind of feel he's a dad and that's his little girl. Do you know what I mean? If you're a good dad, if someone says something bad about your little girl, you're going to want to rip their heads off. Look at Steve fucking... Could you imagine Steve Gonsalves? And, you know, I'd turn the world upside down. But so it's bad. But he reacted to it, and rarely he should have just been like, fuck it. There's always morons on it, do you know what I mean? You're always going to get morons, you can't help it, and it is what it is. And that takes away from what he does. He needs to let people comment. Don't turn your comments off, because you're going to fucking piss people off, because they're going to look at it like, you know, we've got a right to freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and you are taking that away. So put your comments back on and just learn to let the shitheads be water off a duck's back and do what you do best. And that's it. And it'd be amazing. Anyway, that was a bit of a rant, wasn't it? And we've gone over the hour now. Harsh, I'm going to do a couple more questions, and then we'll do this random finder thing, and someone's going to win something. And what you do, if you win, you have to email me. The email is in the description of all my videos, all of them. So you've just got to email me, and we'll go from there. Get some addresses and get it sorted. So what do we got? Let's have a look. We've got Nevada cops saying, do you think there was a cleanup? I 100% do. At the moment, with what we've been told, I believe that someone tried to clean up. And what I think is what happened, Dylan and or Bethany knew what had happened earlier on. They'd gone out looking. They'd gone into the rooms. They'd trod through it, and they'd walked it back, and they are who dragged the shoes through. The van print, I am 99% sure that is Dylan Mortenson's van print. She saw what she saw, and she didn't call 911. And maybe that is exactly why she was frozen in shock for that long. Do you know what I mean? That makes perfect sense to me, and I could take that. Do you know what I mean? Bless her. I've got nothing against Dylan Mortenson acting normal. Do you know what I mean? If she just fucking nutted up and said, do you know what? I heard what I heard. I didn't really think nothing of it. I heard these noises. I told him to shut the fuck up. And eventually it went quiet. And it got to the point where I thought, do you know what? It's gone too quiet now. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to text them perhaps. Don't get no answer. I'm going to walk around the house, knock on the doors. And she comes across what she comes across. And then she's going to think to herself, oh my God, what I heard was actually them being attacked. And I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. And she's walking about, and then she's going to think, now they've been killed. I've been walking around. I've dragged it everywhere. Now I look like I've done it. And I'm here on my own. Or, do you know? And that's how I think that went. And that's the only thing to me what makes sense. Without saying that Dylan Mortenson was involved and she did something nefarious, that's the only thing to me that makes sense, that answers the 8 hours. Then she's turned around and think, do you know what, I'm going to just have to go in my room. And like I say, potentially open the door and think someone else is going to come in and they're going to see it and they're going to think they come in the front door and done this attack, and I'm going to be like, oh, I didn't even know. That's it. That's my take. But there we go. One more question. We'll do the giveaway, and then I'm going to love you and leave you and let you all go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. So what do we got? Let me just grab one more cue. I'll be the first one to come across. Where are we? You'd think I'll be able to find one. Right, here we go. Kevin Venture for the Philippines. Question: how did Bethany know they were all asleep upstairs at 4 a.m. if she was in the basement? I did a video on this exact point not that long ago, Kevin. Do you know what I mean? That was something that I thought. I thought exactly the same. If you were yourself asleep, because she said she was woken up. So if she was asleep, how did she know who was doing what? How did she really know who was in the house? Because if you've woken up, unless you see people and hear people and you specifically know it's them, you don't know who's in the house. For all you know, you could be the only one in the house. So yeah, I do wonder whether there was more going on, but yeah, that has always been a question of mine. How did the surviving members know anything about what was going on in the house? If they are asleep in the rooms, whatever, like some people said they had headphones on perhaps, and that's why they didn't hear anything. So how the fuck did they know what was going on? And in fact, where were they? Because them two weren't even supposed to be anywhere near each other. So when did they get back? How did they get back? What time did they get back? Did they get back together? Loads of questions. Anyway, it's giveaway time, baby. Giveaway time. So, for a pair of, these are off-white paperclip earrings. Expensive, they are. Expensive. Lovely. Be a nice Christmas present for someone. So I'm going to not look. I'm just going to make sure that I can scroll through. I'm going to not look. I'm just going to scroll. And then I'm going to stop on someone. And then I'm going to upload it. That is who has won. The Snooper. Who leaves a witness? No way. You have won yourself a pair of off-white earrings. Email me. My email is in the description of all my videos. It will eventually be in the description of this video. I don't know if it is yet, but it will be. And like I say, anybody watching on the replay, comment in the... you lot can cheat as well, to be fair. Even you lot are in there now. Because if you comment in the... When I turn all this off, if you then comment saying hashtag team replay, then I won't know. And you'll get a chance to win something else. So, yeah, there you go. If you can't win, cheat. And that is me. So, I will love you all and leave you. I've had a bit of a dip back into the lives. I'm going to be doing more. Like I say, we're going to be doing one on Wednesday, and then we're going to be doing the mental health live on Sunday. So, there we go. Thank you so much for all of you guys who came by. Let's just have a quick look at the super stickers. Dolphin, thank you very much. Would you mind explaining how a burglar report could be pulled if Brian's car does not have a navigation system or blue link? Thank you. I will quickly answer that one question because I know that's something. And Evil CJ, thank you, love you, and appreciate all your efforts at the Evil. Thank you very much, Mr. Evil from the Evil CJ Show. For those of you who are not subscribed to Evil CJ Show, please head over and show him some love after here. And I do like that guy. He's a good guy. And he does remind me, I don't know if anyone else, can you remember the one in Sons of Anarchy? The boss of... What's his name? I can't fucking remember his name. He reminds me of it. Only when I look at his little picture down there, he reminds me of him. The leader, the main one who had dodgy hands, who Charlie Hernan shot. It was his stepdad, wasn't it? Who was with his mum. Yes, who you remind me of. Can't remember his name. Anyway, I digress. What was we saying? The burglar report. Before I go, burglar report. So, when a car is made, a lot of systems... the wiring harness and everything are the same. They're identical. All they do is they don't put the stereo system or a certain thing in. You have to pay for it as an extra, and then they just plug it there because everything's already there. You just don't have it because you ain't paid for it. So a lot of the systems what Burla hooks onto are just diagnostic plugs. So they will be diagnostic plugs that plug into the vehicle ECU or other control units. Might be to do with the accident management system or anything like that. But there are multiple modules for a car that will be the same in all of the models. It is just end user things like I say, like a satellite navigation head unit rather than just a CD one. But there might be some limitations based on the end spec of the vehicle, but there will still be a lot of things that the Burla report can drag because it pulls it from the EEPROM chip from inside the vehicle's ECU. It's not taken from the satellite navigation system, for instance. They plug it into the car's ECU. And the car's ECU will be the same. On a 2015 Hyundai Elantra, that ECU is likely identical across the entire range, unless there's some variations in there for something else. But yeah, there you go. I hope that answers your question. I'm not 100% sure whether there's limitations, but as far as I'm aware, the Burla report extracts its information from the ECU, and the ECU is pretty much identical across the entire range, regardless of spec. But there we go. What else we got? We've just got some people. We got Magdalena, Lady Crimson, with the super sticker. Thank you very much. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being you. Dana Puff and stuff. Thank you very much as well. Dixie's gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Dixie. Thank you to all the mods. You are all absolutely amazing. In fact, you are all amazing just for being here and spending some time with me the last hour. It's gone really quick. It's been an hour and 14 minutes. And for now, I think that's me out of here. So I will love you and leave you. And I will catch you all in the next one.